Hey folks, welcome to this new series called the Improvement Series. And as you're getting ready to get into that new course, we're going to try to get you ready for learning. Now, you might feel like this individual, he opened up that textbook, he went to class, listened, and is expecting to do exceptionally well on his assessments. He's doing, or he thinks he's doing so well, that he's using his time up to go up with friends, go on social media, and just straight up party. But when he starts getting those results back, he ends up needing a little bit of help. He realizes, or she realizes, that they are in a little bit of trouble. Now, what happens is that if you are in high school, usually this just means you fail something, you pick up, and you try to do it better again. However, if you're in college or in university, in some kind of institution, if you don't do so well, what's going to happen is that school is going to come back to you and put you on what's called academic probation. And they're going to say, hey, lift up your marks or we're going to kick you out. So they're going to give you a warning. Now, if you improve, then that academic probation goes away. However, if it continues and continues and continues, there is a chance that these institutions might actually just kick you out. And that's called academic dismissal. Now, that usually means when you have a pattern of not doing well, of not performing up to the standards of the institution, aka you're not in good standing. And so what happens is they might actually just completely kick you out. Now, this has huge repercussions on your future. So the question is, how do we not get here? How do we do well the first time and not get into a position that really sucks? So the University of Dalhousie, or Dalhousie University, which is based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and that's in Canada, took on the study of looking at about 200 people that have been academically dismissed. And they asked the question, what were the reasons for this? And so these students reported that there were four main causes of this failure. Number one in our day and age, can you guess it? Well, it's not sleeping, but when you are sleeping and you wake up, what's the first thing that you reach for? I can pretty much guarantee it's this. It's your phone. And right away, you're going to log on to Facebook. You're going to check up, hey, what are my friends doing on here? Then I might go to Instagram and see, oh, let's see what pictures they posted. Oh, that looks really cool. Man, I wish I was there. You might tweet about it or get your news from Twitter, for example. Check up on the internet. Is there anything else in news? Oh, there's something I didn't really understand. Let's see if anybody posted something on YouTube about it. Well, you know what? I'm going to chat my friend right now. I'll take a break from this. I'll come back to a little bit later. And then, boom, oh yeah, I forgot. I need to check up my email. And you know, while I'm at it, I might just Snapchat a little bit. You might go have a little bit of lunch or something like that. And while you're eating, oh, you get a message from WhatsApp. You're going to check that WhatsApp message. I got to talk to my cousin about something. He's overseas, so we're going to go on a kick. And we might send something, whatever, and it keeps going. And then all of a sudden, you got a little bit of time and you're going to Netflix and chill. However, when you get bored of Netflix and chilling, you might actually just switch on the PlayStation or Xbox and get a little bit of a game on. Well, we are just inundated with all this social media. And that's the number one thing that people now are saying, that I have an addiction to social media or technology, media in general. I am being bombarded. I can't just sit in a room and look at a wall anymore because my phone is with me, or I'm going to be on Netflix, or I'm going to be doing something else. I'm always hooked into something with a screen. And so this organization called Common Sense Media did a little survey between tweens and teens. And again, the ages are down over there. And what they found is that tweens spend about 6 hours of total media time. Now that's, again, social media, screen time, TV, PlayStation, whatnot. They spend about 6 hours engaged in this. And that's daily use, and that's the average. However, as you get older into the teens, again, that increases to 9 hours. Now, this study was done in 2015. We are now a little bit beyond that, so I can only imagine that these numbers have increased. What's interesting is that the multitasking is now considered the new normal. Most teens are looking and studying and looking at social media, searching up on websites, listening to music, all this kind of stuff. It's crazy that 50% use social media when doing homework. So, I mean, that's just crazy. People now have this huge addiction to social media or media in general, and they just can't handle it anymore. Now, the second problem is, well, this is pretty common. I'm just going to check up some cool pics. Oh, looks so great. I want to be there. Why can't I be there? Why not me? Okay? And then you go on to the next person, on the next photo and whatnot. And you keep repeating this. Okay? And we've gone and believed that our lives as only as vivid as they appear on the internet. But some of us lead actually pretty cool lives. We get to go out and we get to hang out. And all these are problems. When we're trying to study, whether you're looking at social media or you're hanging out or you're just socializing in general, the second cause that these people said was that we socialize way too much. Whether it's hanging out with friends, even studying with friends, or driving people, talking to family, I being unable to say I have to go or I can't do that is eating up our time and not allowing us to study the way that we need to. And a lot of people now say, well, I have FOMO. I have FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's the fear of missing out. Basically, a stress or anxiety that something interesting is happening outside of the confines of your immediate area and that you are not going to be part of that. But let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. If you're a teen, you're not missing out because everybody is doing this. They're all texting about how cool the event instead of actually participating. So think about that. Think about what you actually do when you get there. Are you just texting and social mediaing the heck out of your event just to show other people that your life is really cool other than enjoying it? And if so, why even spend that time? Stay in just a little bit. I'm not saying stay indoors all the time, but stay indoors and just study, especially when you're taking a really, really intense course or an abbreviated course that's going to take up a lot of time in terms of a daily average versus a very short weekly average. And again, we see this all the time. We see this going out and whatnot, and we say, hey, we're not socializing with friends. We're doing a study group, right? And really, group study is the best way to ensure that none of your friends have studied either, because you end up talking and whatnot. If you do this, you need to have the discipline. Set out what your goals are, how long you're doing it, and get the work done. Number 3, well, one of all these things have in common. Number 3 are sleep problems. We are just not getting enough sleep. Well, probably for one of the reasons that we talked about before, social media, or just hanging out with friends, or doing whatever, playing and gaming up to 3 a.m. in the morning. I've had a lot of students that have done this, and then they come to class just barely live. You can see on the right-hand side, you're definitely not going to get away with a picture in front of you while you sleep. Okay? Sleeping is key to your health, and you need to sleep. There's nothing that replaces sleep. No energy drinks, no caffeine pills, no nothing. You need to get your sleep. Otherwise, again, your brain won't make those neural connections and whatnot, and you won't have enough energy to actually participate and concentrate in class. Back in the day, it used to be, we're hanging up till 10 a.m., or 10 p.m., excuse me. That was the risque thing to do. Talking on our phones all night. But now it's Netflix, or we're checking social media, and we just are not leaving that screen. And again, one of the craziest thing is gaming. Gaming, we get just so immersed. We're sucking down energy drinks, and next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and you got to wake up at 5 to be somewhere for 6. You need to get your sleep, and there is no replacement for sleep. And the last one, which is pretty much the root of most problems, is the lack of motivation. Okay? Missing motivation, reward to found. I don't know what that reward would be if you're not motivated to even actually go find it. Okay? When we look at motivation, what does it affect? Well, number 1, it affects our success. Right? And our success is based up on a lot of things like goals, attitudes, and performance. Okay? But we also might be motivated to support other people. And if we don't have that internal motivation, we're just going to be an individual of one, which is basically an individual. But we want people to support others. And what's really interesting is that when you support other people, when you work together, you end up getting better ideas. Okay? So when we're talking about, am I motivated? That's a very good question, important question to ask, because it has a huge effect on your life. Now, there are motivation cycles, basically, need, reward, work, and outcomes. And so when we're looking at this, we really have to identify what is our need. Well, in this case, this is a need of someone that is looking at a report, okay? So we need to complete these reports within a week. What's our drive? Well, the drive could be the look on your parents' face Again, when you failed, again, you don't want that. Okay, so maybe it's a fear of failure. Maybe it's an intrinsic, okay, internal fear of failure, or maybe it's an external one. Maybe it's enough time. Maybe you have a little bit of an anxiety about that you won't have enough time. Most of the time, people don't even feel that anxiety, especially when I was going through school. I'd be like, yeah, I got enough time. I'll do it later. And then you realize, not enough time. Okay, so but my drive most of the time was really just to free up time now so I can do other cool things. So what are my actions? Well, if I know that I have to do a report, first thing I'm going to do is read whatever I need to, take down notes, research the topics, make an outline, and figure it out. Now, we might not have to do that in one night, but at least we have a schedule. We have a plan of when we're going to do it and how we're going to do it. Okay, our incentive is the nod from our teacher. Yep, thank you very much, completion on time. And again, what our reward for that is that we have the pleasure of having no more stress. Imagine, and I'm sure most people have done that, they leave it to the last minute and you are just stressed, and you hand at it and you don't feel any reward. You're just coming down from that stress. You know, if you make a plan and you are motivated by anything, it could be anything. Your motivation could be anything. It could be your parents, but most hopefully it's coming from within. A motivation for success, or a motivation for money, or a motivation for fame. All these different things are motivations. There's no wrong way to motivate yourself, but do motivate yourself because it will allow you to go through this cycle. Some people prefer to do things like this. This is called a vision board or a goal board or a dream board, whatever you want to call it. And people highlight goals for themselves. You can see, you can break it down into years, months, even days, depending on what you're doing. But it's really important to set out those goals, because if you have nothing to aim for, you don't know which direction you're going. Give yourself an aim point and then work towards that goal. Okay? If you do not know where you're going, you will not know what path to take. Okay, so really spend some time. What are your goals? If they're short-term goals, make them reasonable. Don't be like, I'm going to get an A+ tomorrow when I currently have an F. Okay, it probably won't happen unless you don't have that many assignments or whatnot. But again, make yourself reasonable goals, achievable goals, but goals nonetheless, so that you know where you are going. So what are the suggestions from all this study? Set out reasonable goals and a timeline, okay? Schedule your time between work and self. Again, that point to play, okay? Either going out, hanging out with friends is not to be dismissed. You need to do that for a good work-life balance. But again, the point of this is to get through that course or get through that assignment or whatnot, and you need to set out a timeline. So sometimes you can structure your year in where you can have more time for friends and family, and sometimes you really need to get down into work. Okay, so again, schedule the time, and by scheduling, you will not cram, meaning you won't leave things till the last minute. Cramming is the worst. You get stressed, you get tired, you get emotional, and then you have to try to recover, and it takes days to recover from that, and again, you're losing all that time. Just do it now. And remove those distractions. Get rid of those screens. When I was studying and I was in university, I used to put bags on my windows so I couldn't see the sun in May and June. It was ridiculous, because if I saw that sun, I wanted to be out. Get rid of those distractions. Get rid of the negative people. Get rid of the people that just want to do a quote-unquote group study to talk. Okay? Even go to a quiet place like a library. You know, those things still exist nowadays. Like we saw, don't multitask. This has been done again through research, and they say that you cannot multitask. Okay? If you try to multitask, the primary information will not be held. Okay? So if you're focusing, focus. You know, sometimes music or whatnot is a little bit okay, but really, you know, if you're listening to some heavy beat music while you're trying to study calculus, it probably won't turn out so well. Bedtime routines. I know we're a little bit older than our younger selves. Why do we need a bedtime routine? Seriously, get into a routine. Routines are good. You know, wash yourself, brush your teeth, whatever. All those things that your mom and dad used to tell you. But again, establish them for yourself and keep to that. You know, when you're thinking about being tired, go exercise instead of nap. Help your body overcome that. Set alarms if you need to nap, so that you don't nap for 14 hours like some of us have done. And again, get those screens out. The screens do not help you sleep. They hinder your sleep. So turn them off about an hour ahead of bedtime. And the last thing, and the most important thing, is set those goals. Again, go back to number one. Aim high with those goals. But again, be reasonable in the short term, aim high in the long term. Okay, remember what your priorities are. There's always going to be people trying to get you away from that because, again, maybe they're jealous or maybe they want to have more of you. Who knows? But they want to get you away from your priorities, either deliberately or not deliberately. Get inspired. Talk to people. Go on whatever. Even go on YouTube on that scheduled time that you have for yourself and see what people are doing. But also remember that nowadays, that social media, it's so fake. So many people, they edit, and spend hours to that one photo, make their life look exactly right, but it's not real life, okay? Remember that. And number one, plan for the future that you want. Your future is not going to happen by mistake. It's not going to happen by happenstance. It's going to happen because you have a plan. Plan for it, set goals, and work towards it. If you have a suggestion that has been working for you, I'd love if you could put it into the comments section below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you like this video. Subscribe if you like it. And I just want to say thank you for all the images and the content that has been used. See you guys. Bye.